Welcome back to Quantum Quill Media's podcast. Today we're diving into a thrilling episode of Roborevolution, where we explore the latest developments and challenges in the world of robotics and AI. Get ready to embark on a journey through the ever-evolving landscape of technology, as we discuss how these advancements are reshaping our daily lives. So grab your headphones and join us as we unravel the mysteries and marvels of the Roborevolution.
Hi guys, welcome back to Roborevolution, and today I have a guest.
Hi, my name is Benjamin. I am a manager at a Fortune 500 company. And what are we going to talk about on today's podcast?
Today we're going to talk about robotics and how they impact our lives and many more.
Okay. What questions would you have for me?
So let's get on to the first one. How do you see robots shaping the future of work, and what impact will they have on employment?
So within my company, we already have robots within the workplace. We have them, they do what we call marriage bolts on the line side. And we also have, in terms of transportation, we have AI robots that take parts from one area to another, from our warehouse stores to our main lines, because my particular company I'm with produce Jaguar Land Rover seats. I can't go into too much details because of other NDAs and everything else. But I can say, will it have an impact on employment? I think it may in the future reduce jobs, but it will make jobs higher paid, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So the jobs that will be available will be obviously at a higher rate, but will it impact jobs in the short term? No. In the long term, it has the potential.
Okay, thank you for answering that question. So now we're moving on to question 2. What role will robotics play in space exploration and colonization of other planets?
So this is an interesting question, because now we're going completely out of the spectrum of within Earth. So personally, I think the first thing that will land on Mars obviously was already a robotic. So the way I see it, in terms of exploration, robots are already the number one key, because humans, we cannot stay alive without oxygen, food, water. It is as simple as that. So robots, in my opinion, they will be the first to explore everywhere. They were the first on the moon, first to Mars, it will be the first on Jupiter, so on and so forth, wherever we go light years away. In terms of colonisation, in my personal opinion, what will most likely happen is, say we were to colonise Mars, if we can get the planet to a certain temperature, we'll send over robotics. Robotics will help fertilise soil, will help try and create its own cloud system, or however they want to try and do it. This is probably way further, will probably potentially be long gone by this comes about, but you never know. It could happen in my lifetime.
True.
But in my personal opinion, it will be the way forward to colonise any future planets, because that is the best way to do it. They fertilise everything, and then eventually humans will come along and will inhabit the place.
Okay, thank you for answering question 2. We're moving on to question 3. What are the potential risks and benefits of integrating robots into our daily lives, from household chores to personal compensation?
So another interesting question. So the potential risks and benefits. So the benefits are obviously robots can do things for you. It makes our lives easier in the short term. I mean, we already have little things like dishwashers. Could you generally have a personal robot that does your own dishes? Maybe. Obviously, I think it will make humans potentially lazier in the future. But obviously, we can only go about that within the future, because if you look back on many years ago when radio was first properly coming about, TVs, mobile phones in the last 20 years. No one, if you go back 30 years ago, you said a mobile phone, everyone would look at you like you're crazy. Now, there's probably about
Mm-hmm.
15 billion phones in the world. Literally every single human's pretty much got one.
True.
So, like, in terms of that, I think this will be the next big change. AI is definitely going to be the biggest thing now, in my opinion. So, in terms of integrating into our daily lives, I think it can be definitely be done to help the human race, as long as the human race is willing to accept the robots as help. But in terms of personal companionship, they will never be able to replace a human, because humans, we have IQ and EQ, and robots, they are programmed to a certain way, so it's mainly data driven. Can they adapt from that data driven? We don't know, but the way I see it in terms of companionship, you need emotions, and that's EQ, which you're not going to get, in my personal opinion, from a robot.
Okay, thank you for answering question 3. As we move on to question 4, how can robotics help us create more inclusive and accessible environments for people with disabilities?
So another interesting one. So it can definitely help in every environment, in my opinion, in terms of disabilities. Beforehand, if you've got someone in a wheelchair that struggles to get around, that can't do their own washing or can't do their own ironing, that potentially, if that can be done and programmed correctly, that can be all solved. It could generally change the lives of disabled people. It would be so easy and accessible. You would have less stress on nurses, which would mean less stress on the NHS, which would mean less money going into it, which hopefully means more money going back into the economy, rather than money being potentially wasted here, there and everywhere, as current things happen. But yeah, I think personally it'll make disabled people able to get around easier. You never know, it won't be long until you have AI cars. It's already in the works with, I believe, Tesla and Elon Musk. They've already got autonomous driving. It's not going to be long, in my opinion, before we don't even need to start an engine. We literally get in the car, say, I'm going to this street, and the car will take you.
Okay, thank you for answering question number 4. As we move on to question 5, what are the biggest misconceptions people have about robots, and how can we address them to foster better understanding and acceptance?
So the misconceptions people are going to have is, why do we need them? Are they too expensive? It's going to mainly be about cost. But then we say the same with mobile phones. Like, back in the day, no one even thought a mobile cellular device would even be needed. Everyone was always house phone to house phone, or it was just letters. These days, it's all about, everyone's got a mobile phone. It's easy to get in contact with anyone. I think this will be personally the same thing, and that's what people are potentially scared of. People are scared of change. And the way I like to say it, so at work we've got a word that's a Japanese word that's called kaizen, and it means change for the better. So the way I look at it is, as long as the robots are here to aid us and improve our lives, there is no reason why they can't become part of our daily life, really. But that's the way I look at it. And then to try and, like, how can we address them to foster better understanding and acceptance? So that comes down to the personal individual. At the end of the day, some people are going to accept them and want the help. Other people might turn around and go, no, don't like it, don't want it. But the next generation will grow up with this. So right now we're in the generation of 2024. By 2060, this is probably all going to be fully integrated, you never know, with everything being autonomous. Obviously we can't see into the future, so we don't know.
True.
I mean, but the next generation will grow up with this, and the same as we have done. So right now, my grandparents, for example, don't even know what a mobile phone properly is. But then you've got people my age and younger than me that are whiz kids on mobile phones. And it's only going to be the same when everything autonomous or AI robots come into the workplace, come into your personal life. And that's the way it is going to be. The way it is, it's going to end up in that way, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
So it's totally up to the individual at the time to accept it. If they want to accept the change, they can. But at the end of the day, everyone lives, everyone dies. That is the fact. You are born in this life, you die in this life. No one lives forever. So regardless of what happens, your kids, or their kids' kids, their kids' kids, they will have all this. You might not accept it, but it will get accepted, in my personal opinion.
Okay, that's all the questions we have for you today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on.
That's not a problem.
And would you like to say anything to the guests, to the listeners?
So to the listeners out there, I think AI is definitely the next big thing. So if you've got a bit of spare cash behind you, I highly say invest into some sort of AI. You never know. It'll make you a very wealthy man one day. And to people out there that think this is a change for the worse, no, this is a change for the better. We just need to accept it as humans and ride the wave, as they say.
Okay, thank you for going on. Everyone listening, remember to follow us at Quantum Quill Media. Until next time, thank you for coming on and bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Doctor. To our listeners, if you wish to join us on this podcast, do let us know by email. We hope you've enjoyed delving into the fascinating world of robotics and AI with us. Stay curious, stay informed, and remember, the future is closer than you think. If you have any questions you'd want us to answer or talk about next, please send it to our email on roborevolution@quantumquill.uk. Until next time, keep innovating, and may your circuits be charged with inspiration. This is Quantum Quill Media signing off.